Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to the online video class session of political science. So, my dear students, in our previous class, we have discussed about the federal features and the unitary features. So, actually, we have discussing about the third unit, which is titled as the center-state relations. So, in the part of central-state relations, before going to detail about the central-state relations, we have to need to discuss about the federal structure of India. So that is why in our previous class we discussed about the federal features of the Indian Constitution and as well as the unitary features of the Indian Constitution. So, my dear students, so today, so let us discuss about the the center-state relations. So, this is one of the most important uh, topic. Generally, in any competitive point of view, in any competitive exams, many of the questions used to ask from this concept. So generally, they used to focus on the articles of the Indian Constitution about the various relations. Like there are various kinds of three kinds of relations between the center and the state. So like legislative relations, executive relations, and judicial relations. So the entire relations are discussed in a Indian Constitution in a detailed manner. So that is why, so it is very very important or very very essential to discuss the main the center state relations. So for your convenience, I was prepared a PowerPoint presentation, my dear students. So let's get into the details. So my dear students, so this is about the the slide, first slide, which exposes about the institution like Telangana Tribal Welfare Residential Degree College, the subject political science, semester fourth, the Indian Constitution and the politics of India. So here the entire the concept is explains about the third unit, the federal politics. So here in the federal politics, we have seen some of the union state relations, federal features. And today let us discuss about the union state relations. Okay. The constitution provides the federal system of the government in the country, even though it is described as the union states. Because if you go to the last classes, we have discussed that the Indian constitution has, some of the constitution has the federal structure, and some of the features are reflecting the union, the unitary features. So it means that the Indian Union, India is the union of states. So it reflecting the federal features and as well as the unitary features. So that is why the Constitution of India provide the federal system of the government in the country, even though it described as the union of states. Actually, we have at present 28 states and 9 UTs. So before that, there are 29 states and 7 UTs. But recently, the central government has uh, uh, created new two union territories from the Jammu Kashmir. So the Jammu Kashmir was parted into the two UTs, union territories. So that is why the strength became the state strength became the 28 from 29th to 28th, and whereas the union territories list increased from 7 to 9. Okay, so here even though it has the federal form, but it has considered or called as the Union of States. It is the combination of the Union of States. The first article, first of the Indian Constitution, proclaims or explains India is the Union of States. So, like that, India is the Union of States. The Constitution of India has divided the legislative, executive, and financial powers between the center and the state. So, which gives the constitution as a federal character, whereas the judiciary is integrated in a hierarchy hierarchical social structure. So that is why even though it has the unitary features, it has given or it has divided all the powers into the three sections, like the legislative relations, the administrative relations, and the financial relations. Here in the in our country, there is two autonomous bodies, two houses structure is there, like two bodies like central government and as well as the state government. But there is a relation between the central government and as well as the state government. But all the relations which have been functioning in between the state and in between the center are divided into three sections according to the constitution. So here the legislative relations are discussed in the article 245 to 255. So it means 10 articles, approximately 10 articles exclusively deals with the legislative relations between the central government and as well as the state government. Okay, and from 256 to 263, so approximately 7 articles which are exclusively deals about the administrative relations between the central government and the state government. And the financial relations, this is most important because uh, here in the democratic process, the finance is the most important the feature of any state. So here from 268 to article 268 to 293, like 78, 88, and 98, approximately uh, 25 articles. 25 articles are exclusively deals about the financial relations of the central government and as well as the state government. So my dear students, so let us discuss about this union state relations or center state relations in a detailed manner. Okay, so I was given a small graph or chart for your convenience. Actually, the center state relations are explained in the Indian Constitution under the Part 11 and the Part 12 of the Indian Constitution. Under the Part 11 and Part 12, from 256, from from 245 to from 2 to 45 to 293. So under these articles, the center-state relations were exclusively explained by the Constitution. Okay, so here we should keep in mind that the union-state relations are explained under the part 11 and 12. Okay, so under the 11 and 12, from 245 to 293. So these are relations are explained in a systematic manner in Indian Constitution. Okay, so this is most important. The figure. So it means it clearly explains. If you remember this thing, you can write answer in your own words. The relations are divided into three, like the legislative relations, okay, and the administrative relations and financial relations. So here the administrative relations also called as the executive relations. We should not get confused. Okay, so here the entire relations are categorized into legislative relations, executive or administrative relations, and financial relations. Again, each and every relation, like executive relations, are subdivided into 4 or 5 issues. Okay, so let us discuss in a detailed manner. So let us discuss about the legislative relations. First of all, if we discuss about the legislative relations, so 245 to 255. So approximately 10 articles. So 10 articles are deals with different aspects of the legislative relations between the central government and as well as the state government. What are they? So first, the territorial jurisdiction of laws made by the parliament and by the legislature of the states. Here, the jurisdiction of the territorial jurisdiction of a states. So the territorial jurisdiction is nothing but the area of states, or the boundaries of a state is discussed in the list of the legislative relations. So here the parliament made laws regarding the territorial jurisdiction of a particular state. For example, recently the Jammu Kashmir territorial jurisdiction was changed by the central government, and the Jammu Kashmir's issue, it was the Jammu Kashmir was taken into the list of the Union of States, and it was partitioned as the two union territories. So here the whole and sole authority has taken by the central government. So it means parliament, and the distribution of legislative subjects. And the second issue of the legislative relations, the central government may be distribute the legislative subjects to the states. So what are the issues has to be decided by the states, and what are the issues are controlled by the central. So like this, the powers distribution is given to the states by the parliament. So this is also comes under the list of legislative subjects or legislative relations. And the third feature of the third point of the legislative relations between the central government and the state government is the power of parliament to legislate with respect to a matter in the state list. Actually, the entire issues are categorized into three lists, such as the central list or the union list, the state list, and the concurrent list. But according to the legislative relations, the central government have the more power towards the state lists. Sometimes, if it is essential, the central government has the highest authority towards the state issues or the state list. And the central also control the state legislation. Of course, in our system, parliamentary form of system, the state legislation have, has its own powers and functions, but it has to be functioned according to the Constitution of India, as per not as per the will and wish of the ruler. So if it is according to the will and wish, it is not called as a democracy, it is called as the monarchy. But even though whoever it may be on the chair, like today KCR is the Chief Minister of State, or YS Jagan is the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, or some other persons. For example, Karnataka, if you take, Yediyurappa is the Chief Minister of the state. Whether the Chief Minister doesn't have any the discretionary powers to rule the state according to their own will and wish. Of course, they have some powers, but the powers should be according to the guidelines of the Indian Constitution. So here, the central government may control the state legislation sometimes if it is essential. And this matter were incorporated in the seventh schedule of the Indian Constitution. The seventh schedule of the Indian Constitution provides for a distribution of the legislative powers between the center and the state. Here we should keep in mind the seventh schedule is the most important schedule. The seventh schedule of the Indian Constitution provides the distribution of legislative powers between the central government and as well as the state government. So the seventh schedule plays a predominant role between the center and the state in distributing the legislative powers. And the legislative subjects are divided into three lists, like union list. The second list is the state list, and the third list is the concurrent list. So entire legislative relations are categorized into three lists. Okay, we should keep in mind the entire, already we have seen in our the image that the legislative relations are categorized into three lists. Okay, the union list, the state list, and the concurrent list. Okay, then if we discuss one by one in a systematic manner, so let us discuss about the central issues. At present, there are more than 100 subjects are there in the union list. The major, the central, the major issues are controlled by the central government. For example, the foreign affairs, or the defense issues, or the railway, or the postal department services, or banking, or atomic energy issues, communication, currency. So these are all important issues are under the control of the central list. Okay, or we can say it as under the state union list. We should not get confused the union and the center. The union and center is the synonym word. Under the union list there are 100, more than 100 issues are there. So like defense, railways, postal, banking, communications, currency. So these all are the under the list of the central government. And whereas the second list is the state list. So at present there are 61 issues or 61 subjects were under the list of state. So what are the 61 list items or issues? So for example, if we discuss the state list, so the police, the public order, the roadways, the health, agriculture, the local governments, and the drinking water facilities, and sanitation facilities. So these all are comes under the list of the state government. The state government has to take initiation in these matters. Like it has, the state has a responsibility to protect the health of the state people, and it has to provide some kind of the incentives to the agriculture. So that is why the Telangana government is giving the Raitu Bandhu to uplift the agriculturers or the farmers and the local government. So that is why the recently Telangana government is brought the new Telangana Panchayat Raj Act. So under the new Panchayat Raj Act, the government of Telangana is giving more than 50% reservation to the women community in the local body elections. Okay, so like this, some of the issues are under the list of the state, and at the same time, the state government have also look over the drinking water facilities of the state. So that is why the state government is taken initiation to provide the safety and the drinking water to the each and every uh, village, like under the scheme of Mission Kakatiya, sorry, Mission Bhagiratha. So under the Mission Bhagiratha, the state government is provided drinking water to the people of its state. So these are under the list of the state. And agriculture, the Telangana government is providing the various agricultural incentives like the subsidies, the seeds, supplying of seeds, and the major project is undertaken by the government, the Mission Kakatiya. So under the name of the Mission Kakatiya, the government is spending crores of rupees to renovate the, the ponds at the rural level. And the government is spending the crores of rupees towards the lift irrigations and the construction of various dams. So here the agriculture, the health, and the roads, and the local governments, and drinking water facilities. So these all are uh, kept under the list of the state. So approximately 61 items or 61 issues are under the list of the state. And another list is a concurrent list. So it is not under the control of state or neither nor under the control of the central government. It is the concurrent list. So at present there are 52 subjects. The 52 subjects are under the list of the concurrent list. So the list, what are the 52 items which are not covered in the state list and which are not covered under the central list. So that are, if we go details in that about the concurrent list, such as education. Education is under the concurrent list. Sometimes the state is taking special initiative to develop the education system, and central government also give some kind of funds. The best example is, for example, in the entire states of India, the Telangana state is giving the quality education to the marginalized sections under the umbrella of the tribal welfare, social welfare, and minority welfare under the Gurukulam system. But sometimes the state government is getting some kind of funds from the central. So that is why it is under the list of the concurrent list. And the state government, some of the state governments are giving more priority to the education by giving various kinds of incentives. Okay, for example, if we take the education system, the CBSE system is there, and the state syllabus system is there. There are different kinds of schools like model schools, special schools, residential schools, government schools, private schools. So this kind of clumsy is there. So that is why it is kept under the list of the concurrent list. Okay, and forests, the forest also under the concurrent list, because the each and every government has taking initiative to improve to improve the geographical area of their state. So that is why recently the KCR government is brought a new policy like the Haritaharam. So under the Haritaharam, they are spending crores of rupees to plantation. So it is under the list of the concurrent list. But sometimes under the issues of the concurrent list, the central government give some kind of aids. So that is why, so here in the concurrent list, the superior authority is to the central itself. But the state government also sometimes take special initiations to improve that particular sectors. And another important the item in the concurrent list is the wild animals. So the wild animals also under the list of concurrent list. So that is why each and every state is protecting the wild animals. For example, if we take our state, we have various geographical zoos like Nehru Zoological Park at Hyderabad, and each and every state has their own uh, kind of the sanctuaries or parks. But to maintain such kind of parks, the government, the state government is spending some amount of money, and as well as the central government is also giving some kind of allowances or aids in the name of funds. And another department is electricity, labor welfare, criminal law, the civil procedure, the population and control, the family planning, and drugs. So these are all under the list of the concurrent list. So electricity is under the list of concurrent, but each and every each and every state has their own electricity boards. For example, if we take our Telugu states, Northern Power Distribution Limited, Southern Power Distribution Limited. So there are some the corporations, they are getting some kind of amount from the state government and some kind of subsidies from the central government, and the labor ministry also, the criminal law procedure also, civil procedure also, and population control also. Here the population control, actually the health is under the list of state, but here the population control is under the list of the concurrent. Here, as a citizen of India, we have a responsibility to control the population strength. So that is why the central government is brought in various kinds of the family planning system, and at the same time the central government is giving some kind of the helping hands to the mothers and the infant children's. If a mother is getting a kind of family planning operation, some kind of amount is given by the central government with the support of the state government. So like this, in the list of in the matters of the concurrent list, the central government also giving some kind of aids to the states. And if it is essential, the central government is take whole and sole responsibility, or the the central government has the highest power in the list of the concurrent issues. So this is the legislative relations of the central government and the state government. And here Article 245 of the Indian Constitution empowers the center to give directions to the states in certain cases to exercise their executive powers in the state. So this is most important article. According to the 245, article number 245, the central government is gives some kinds of directions to the states, particularly in the to maintain or to exercise the executive powers of that particular state. So 245 generally in many competitive questions, many competitive exams, this kind of questions used to ask. So you keep in mind that Article 245. According to the Article 245, the central government gives directions to the states, particularly in the executive to exercise in the to exercise the executive powers of the state. Okay, then Article 249. So Article 249 empowers the Parliament to legislate with this respect to the Parliament empowers the Parliament to legislate with respect to a matter in the state list in the national interest. So here Article 249 suggests that the Parliament have whole and sole authority to empower the state matters. So the state matters in respect to the central interest. Of course, it is the state issue, but in that particular issue, the central interest is there. If there is a central interest, then the state government, instead of the state government, the central government is take more initiation to empower that issue by the help of the parliament. And Article 250. So Article 250 explains about the parliament become the empowered to make laws on the matters related to the state at the time of the national emergency. So here, according to the 352, article number 352, the central government is interferes in the matters of state at the time of emergency. And the Article 252, according to Article 252, that the Parliament is empowered to legislate for two more states by their consent, not only with the single state, it has to be empowered two states, but the two states they can empower the power, but with the consent of the particular states itself. So here, Article 252 is the most important concept which talks about the emergency powers or the emergency. During the emergency, the state government take initiatives towards the state government. The central government take an initiative towards the state government issues. So these are the most important articles. So let's discuss about some of the lists of the central government, state government, and concurrent list. For example, we already discussed that under the list of central government, the major issues which are uh, proclaims the national interests, like defense, like banking, or currency, or foreign affairs, and communications. Whereas if we come to the state list, the police, the trade, agriculture, and irrigation. So these are the under the list of state, and the defense, banking, currency, foreign affairs, and communication under the list of central. But there are some concurrent lists like education, forest, marriage, adoption, and succession. So succession means the hereditary, the property hereditary. So these are under the list of the concurrent list. But under the list of concurrent list, the central government has the highest authority than the states in the matter of the concurrent list. So this is we have to keep in mind. Okay, then so my dear students, so these are the legislative powers. So today I am winding up the session here. So tomorrow, if possible, let us discuss about the administrative or executive powers of the executive relations between the central government and as well as state governments. Okay. Today we discussed only the legislative relations between the central government and the state government. Okay, and here we should keep in mind important that the executive powers, the legislative powers are divided into three lists, such as the union list, state list, and concurrent list. Under the union list, there are 100 items or 100 issues. In the state list, there are 52 issues, 62 issues, and in the concurrent list 61 issues. So like this, the list we should keep in mind, and these kind of questions may be asked in various competitive exams. Okay, here I am winding up the session. Okay, my dear friends, bye, take care.